verse 28 to 32. Uh-huh. Hmm. Hmm. To 32, man. Of those who practice them. Praise the Lord. We see two categories of people at the concluding part of that passage that are guilty. Those who practice them and who? Those who are happy with those practicing them. So if you are not practicing any of this, but you are happy seeing someone practicing it, you are even encouraging, you are also guilty. That is the summary of this. So time will not permit us to continue to mention all those areas of moral values. But we can see as many of them that are mentioned in that passage read. Let us just pick the one that affect us and see what we can do to restore that broken wall. Are you dishonest? Is your life of corruption? Are you greed? Greediness is your own problem. Materialism. Pornography is everywhere. Now we are talking of cell phone. That has aided that a lot. Because there's any time when we are at our closet, you are watching it, nobody sees you. Your pastor is not there. Husband will not even see wife watching it. Wife may not see husband. But God sees. And that should create fear in us. The Lord will help us in Jesus' name. Disrespect for elders. This one starts from greeting. How many of us children greet again? It's difficult for us to greet. Simple good morning, welcome sir, welcome ma. We want elders to greet you first. That's the trend today. That's what we hear today, even among us. Moral value. The wall has broken. I give credit to one of my proprietaries in the past, where I worked before. The woman, when it comes to greeting, if you didn't greet her, you are in trouble. If someone sits beside her, you now greet her alone, you ignore that person, you are in trouble. There was an occasion that inspector came for a whole school inspection with us for almost 1 week. We were together resuming closing for 5 good days. Team of the inspectorate team. And when they wrote their reports, individual reports, they commended the students separately. When you go like this, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Because of that training. And we don't know where greeting will pave way for us. The height we can attain when this becomes our culture. So children in the house, the Lord wants you to restore this broken wall of respect for elderly ones. And that is the message for us. And parents should do the needful through proper training I'm a bring in Jesus' name. Yahoo is everywhere. Everybody want to make money. People are learning today. They are halfway learning. They have graduated because they cannot endure. And give them job to do, you will regret it. Everybody want to make money, daily income. They don't want to acquire skill. They are so impatient today to take themselves through that years of learning so as to become skillful professional. It's a big problem in our society today. May God help us in Jesus' name. Social values is another wall that has broken down. What is social value all about? It's the way we interact, what informs our relationship, human relationship. The sociologists look at that, the way we interact among one another. We are social animals, as sociologists we put it. Social animals because you cannot live in isolation. You cannot exist on your own. You have to relate, either in form of society, gathering, even like this. It's a social gathering as well, apart from being a spiritual gathering. That's why we are in different units, different departments, different areas where we are working, we are interacting. That's why when we have program, we invite one another. Beyond meeting in the church like this alone, beyond studying the Bible alone, we want to identify with somebody who is having a program that can even take us out of this arena. We travel for program, for ceremonies, and so on and so forth. That shows we are social animals. So we have to interact. In our course of interacting, what do we see today? Discrimination is everywhere. What else do we see? Hatred. They are not my class. What is your own class? That somebody has not attained before. What money do you have? That you have the first person to have it. What is that property you have acquired? That you are the first to acquire it in this world. None. And what we claim to have today, in the next few days, few months, few years, it become outdated. When new ones come up and swallow them. So that is how we should see our social relationship. In the course of that, injustice prevails and oppression. When you are in an office, you use that to suppress people. You manipulate the poor, ethnicity. Emini Hausa, Emini Igbo, Emini Yoruba. And that has even taken over our politics. That's taken over our practices. Neglect for the poor. Godlessness because of, through what? Entertainment industries. There are many programs today that entertainment industry are promoting. And that is what we also embrace. That if we didn't watch those programs, it's like we are going to die. Can they can film? This one film. That one film. And you see people donating, sponsoring them with billions. There was a program on FTV years back, Silverbell, Talk Academy, where you see students presenting debates. That program collapsed after that first season because no sponsor. You bring out different topics, you see those students debating it, you learn a lot. It's no more. No because it's sponsor phone. But I want to be project fame, Abby. It's work big what? They are working what? Stronger every now and then. The Lord will help us in Jesus' name. How are we contributing to this? Social value. Justice is far away. If you read Isaiah 59:14, they are presented like they are personified Justice cannot stand. Righteousness has fallen. Honesty is nowhere to be found. This and that. Are you contributing to this? And the last but not the least. What's that? What the last point? Educational what? Values. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of God is what? Beginning of wisdom. In our educational system, there is a kind serious rotting now. Oh God. School system. Things have gone worse. In all our schools, all sectors, right from primary, nursery self, to university. Decadence is everywhere. As it affects lecturers, affects teachers, it affects students. And parents are also at the center of it. So those are stakeholders in the educational sector. Government has its own fault. Parents have their own. Teachers have their own. And learners have their own. Everybody should just pick his own fault in the education sector today. The collapse in our education sector is the problem of all of us. And today we'll be blaming government. Our gangan, titawa na say arinari. A parent will say they should give that child double promotion. They are even ready to pay for it. Àwọn ọmọ gan ready àti kàwé mọ́. How many of us students here are ready to read again? But want to press phone every hour. Even if you want to read again, this hard copy is fading away now. And it's a big problem. We are used to screen. And it's reducing our intelligence. To sit and read. I was at the newspaper yesterday, the best graduating student at Unilag. I just saw that in my paper. If I did not read in a day, I feel like I am not complete. That's what that boy wrote. That's the caption. I feel I am not what? Complete. If I did not read in a day. You will be forcing our students today to read. But they can make noise till tomorrow. Noise on the assembly, noise in the class, noise during break, noise everywhere. I see that every day because that's where I work. And they are pampered. Àwa òbí ti pamper wọn. Ọmọ mi kò gbọdọ̀ suffer, kò gbọdọ̀ sí kinní kan. What they don't even need. Want them to impress others. And it's becoming a problem on a daily basis. A woman pulled her son out of hostel and said, Oru nígbà tó wà lóstẹ̀, Oru. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, that boy broke 2 chairs in a week because of overweight. He broke 2 chairs. I was in the class when the first one happened. Just here I had the noise. Bam! They reported him, caution fee. So when I went back to the class, I just like a joke, just to find out. This mate said, sir, he has broken another one. He has broken another one. You are not here at that time. Torí oúnjẹ àjẹjù. It's so obvious in him. So that is the understanding of parental care to many of us. I talk pé ká fi bí pa àwọn ọmọ wa, but let them be disciplined. Because nobody knows tomorrow. A woman was sponsoring some students years back in my former school. This student will come with everything to the school. They may even bring chicken, full chicken to teachers. They just bring. My mom said, I auntie said I should give you. It's gift, of course. My auntie said I should give you, they can bring 10. It's known to the school. She had the capacity. But what I'm saying is this. One day, I don't know who brought money for them. The girl just was counting the money. And so 500 naira, tall and dirty. So just remove it like this and throw it into the dustbin. It's dirty. It's dirty. A teacher now saw it and picked. We even took it to her. Said, no. I have to go and repeat. Life is not like this. Lo and behold, that woman was assassinated. They lived at her papa that time. And it took the grace of God for these children to finish even for insurance package that was already on ground. So all this we are doing, contributing to the decadence in educational practices and policy of Nigeria, we have to stop it. Many of us want to look for special centers for our children to write the exam. And we now come and celebrate the victory in the church. Let us be careful. God will help us in Jesus' name. Today we see students with certificates, but there is no what? Competence. They cannot defend the certificate. Simple task at work, they can't carry it out. Somebody say youth cover was posted to them. He could not do anything than pressing phone. I've passed through school for 4 or 5 years. The school did not pass through that child or that student. Are we in that category? Graduates cannot stand tall any longer and prove who they are. So education system in Nigeria has become object of ridicule, even to nations around us. You take certificate of Nigeria elsewhere, they will reject it. You have to start all over again. That was what became of Jerusalem because of broken wall. Until Nehemiah rose to build. The Lord will help us in Jesus' name. How do we build? Nehemiah's model. What is Nehemiah's model? It's the approach, style adopted by Nehemiah. Remarkable leadership qualities, impassioned speech, purpose-driven prayer, organization, resolve, trust in God, unselfishness, prompt and determined response to problem. All these are Nehemiah's model. And many of us have seen ourselves doing any of this. Even when we see decay, we put our eyes away. Come in. Can you come and say, can you come and saw me leno? Ya ki won so e leno. A ko nipa ti e wi pe o se kini o. O se won to le se. Even in the church, it's happening now. Wọ́n mọ̀ sọ mí lẹ́nu, má bá mi bọ́ mọ̀ mi wí, ẹ má ná o, ẹ má ṣe kinní kan o, this and that. So, parents, may we not be guilty in Jesus' name. The Lord will help us in the name of Jesus Christ. And finally, be like who? Be like Nehemiah. He did not act without praying, and he did not pray without acting. Let us rise and build. Tell someone beside you, let us rise and build. Shall we rise and pray unto our God? Rise to your feet. Choir, please help us sing that song. Let us rise and build. Do we remember the song? Okay, BSF. Let us rise and build.
Let us rise now.
Let us rise. Oh, rise and build.
Let us rise now.
Let us rise now. Oh,
Rise and build.
let us rise now. Let us rise now.
Rise and build.
We will rise now. We will rise now. God,
rise now.
we will rise now.
We will rise and build. Church,
God will help us, He will help us to rise and build. Let's tell God, He will help us to rise and build. What do I need to build? What is that wall that has collapsed? Have I noticed any wall around me? Have I noticed any decadence around me? Even in the church, in my family, in the society. What am I doing? Am I taking steps? Or am I guilty? Father, help me. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Not to be guilty. Help me to be pragmatic like Nehemiah. Help me to show concern. Help me to show them purposeful leadership. Help me to be prayerful so as to build in the name of Jesus Christ. Help me to contribute my own quota. And I'm lọ́wọ́ kí n lè sapá tèmi Olúwa. Níbi tèmi náà ti jẹ̀bi Olúwa. Ẹ ṣàánú fún mi, ẹ dáríjì mi. Let your grace be sufficient for me. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Let's begin to appreciate God because He has answered our prayers. Thank you, our Father. Blessed be your holy name. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Let us rise and build. The Lord bless us in Jesus' name.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. More grace. We're still going to pray before I pray for our daddies and boys. As we are sitting down, please, I want you to check your life. With this message we have had, where am I contributing to the problem in this nation? Báwo làwa náà ṣe ń tọ́ àwọn ọmọ wa? Ṣé gbọ́dọ̀ bá wa bọ́mọ wí? Some of us, we go to the extent and fighting the teachers in the school because they have scolded your child. I'm also guilty in the area of assignment. Somebody délé ní orí laptop náà ti fẹ́ ṣe assignment kò ń ṣe textbook mo bọ́n ṣe wá sí mo pé no, it has to stop. It has to be textbook. Once in a while should be laptop. Agbọ̀n yẹn èmi náà nílò láti ṣàtúnṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Check yourself. Where are you guilty? Everything is online. Phone, tablet, this and that. Can you bow down your head and say, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm part of those ones that are contributing. Some of us go to the extent of fighting other children because of our children. Where are you guilty? Where am I guilty? Fasting and prayer in the children department. They are 4 years old, they are 5 years old. You'll be saying, I know they are still young. They cannot fast. Too young to be fasting. But when it is coming to all these extracurricular in the school, they are not too young. To be in ballet, they are not too young. They are not too young. To be in dancing team, catwalking team, they are not too young. But to serve God, to be committed to their Creator, they are too young. Can you tell God and say, Daddy, I am sorry. Please forgive me. Forgive me. Some of them will leave them at home. We will be coming to the church. They will stay at home. I know some of us are shouting, you must not come late. Yet some of us are not bothered. Can you tell God, Daddy, I'm sorry? Are you building? So it's not only about fathers this morning. It's about every one of us. You can spoil them, eating this, eating that, but they cannot fast. Even to teach them how to pray is a problem. No devotional book, but we can buy this literature, that textbook. We can buy tablets, we can buy laptop. Ask for a single devotional material for children at home, not a single one. We have children quiet time. We have sick daily. In Baptist, Redeem app for the things. Christian ministry, children ministry, they have quiet time. 3,500 we cannot buy. But to buy clothes, new one in town, aṣọ tuntun tó ṣe jáde, gèlè tuntun, a lè rà yẹn, kódà style irun tán ṣe ń ṣe ń sìn. It's not a problem. They can wear anything. We are not moved. I pray you will not be guilty, and I will not be guilty as well. When he's talking about they cannot read textbooks again, everything is online. Mommy, I need your phone. I want to do assignment. I want to use my laptop. I want to do assignment. I look at myself. For me, you are guilty. Can we say, Daddy, please help me? Olúwa ràn mí lọ́wọ́ láti ṣe àtúnṣe. Láti ṣe àtúnṣe. So it's not about father, firstly. Let's talk to ourselves. As a mother, ọwọ́ wa ló ti ẹ̀ pọ̀ jù sí. Àwa là ń gbélé jù. Gbogbo oge tí ń bẹ láyé la fẹ́ fi kọ́ wọn. Ṣùgbọ́n àṣetán láti fi ọ̀nà ìgbàgbọ́ hàn wọ́n. We are not ready to show them the way of life, but we want to teach them every fashion in town. Everything goes. Mini skirts, packed bow, blouses, everything. Can you tell God, I am sorry. Lord, help me. I am guilty as well. Restorer of broken worlds. Will you be one? Will I be one? Àwọn ọmọ yẹn wọ́n ti di nǹkan mímọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ apá wa ò ká wọn mọ́. Because nobody should touch them. Don't touch my baby. Don't beat my baby. Teacher wo ló ná ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n náwó ló gbọ́n. Ẹ mọye ẹgbàá tẹ́ jẹ́ ẹ mọye máìlì tẹ́ rìn. If you are not caned when you are schooling, ṣébi tá a wà lẹ́ni yẹn láwà. If you are not disciplined, will you be where you are? Say, tell God, Daddy, I'm sorry in any area I am guilty. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive. Nobody can work a memory verse. No, that's too much. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá gbéṣẹ́ wá fún wọn léwe, a lè ṣe yẹn. Nobody can kọ́ ilé, kan kọ́ tọ̀hún. You can do that. But memory verse is too much. Can you say, Lord, help me? Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Most of the time we see our pastors, wàhálà wọn ti pọ̀ jù jèrè. Ṣàṣẹ Ọlọ́run ni. I pray you will not regret those actions. Let's talk to God. Daddy, help me. I don't want to be guilty. I want to be one of those that are restoring the broken worlds in the household of God, in our nations today. Even if some people are calling your children to order, can't you greet? Is that how to greet? Somebody wá tún report fún wa nlé. Aso ọ̀jájà ni. Must you greet them? Is it compulsory you should greet them? What stops you from calling my own to order? Anyway, can't you greet? Or is that how to greet? How you leave him alone? One year